Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, whenever you watch this. Just want to share some ideas with you today about belief systems as I'm driving up to Santa Maria. I'm right around Solvang right now, north of Santa Barbara. And something I really work on before every single presentation I do, I don't take it for granted, is this belief that I have in people and my mission, what I do. And just so you know, a belief is a feeling of absolute certainty that you have about something. And we hear this word belief a lot. You got to believe in yourself, believe in God, believe in your business, believe in people, believe in love. But when we say the word belief, what are we really saying? We all have different beliefs about people, about money, about love, about relationships, about what we believe that we deserve. But a belief is a feeling, so it goes beyond our words. And so when two people meet, the person that is most certain will influence the other person. So when I go in to do these talks, I have a belief that people really need to hear what I have to say, and they want to hear what I have to say. Like sometimes I do these talks and people don't want to hear what I have to say, and they don't want to be there, and they believe they don't need to hear what I have to say, but I believe they need to hear what I have to say. And I believe they want to hear what I have to say. And I believe behind every no, there's a yes. And even the most negative, angry person, I believe there's a good, positive, happy person in there. And, I think that the beliefs that really inspire people, or inspire you specifically to be your best with people, to get results, to get yeses, not to close deals, but to inspire yeses in people. You've got to believe that there's a yes in there. You got to believe that even in the most negative person, there's a positive person in there. And if you're more committed to the yes, and you're playful and warm and persistent, you will get a yes. People talk about all these closing techniques and things to manipulate people into getting what you want. And I know a lot of those skills, and yes, they do work, and sometimes you do need to utilize those. But it's pretty basic what it takes to get people to come into your realm of getting them to basically do things for themselves. They're not doing it for you, to get people to do the things that they know they already need to do. So if you've got a great product or service, and you're able to connect with people authentically, one of the best strategies that you can use is just humor, and just believing in yourself, believing in what you're doing. That will get you further than 99% of the fancy closing techniques and strategies and marketing techniques, and a lot of that stuff works. But I see people in this industry today, our industry of self-help, self-development, they got into the self-development business because they were trying to help themselves. And so they've spent 5, 6, 7 years now, maybe just a couple of years, reading books to help them find their purpose, because they were so freaking lost. And now they're even more lost because they were studying and not training. They got all these ideas and they still don't know what to do. So they say, I'm just going to regurgitate all this other people's stuff and try to make money off of it as a coach or life coach or mentor, when really they've lost the sense of certainty in themselves. They haven't found their own center yet. So that's what we need to condition. It's our beliefs, our feelings of certainty. Because people aren't buying your product or service, they're buying you. They're connecting with you. They're connecting with your certainty. And every single person you meet, me, everybody, there's some area of their life where they have some aspect of their life that is uncertain. And if somebody's healthy and growing, they're always looking for the next level. So when you go into the next level, there's some uncertainty because the person's never done it. And so people look, for mentorship, advice. This year I've had tons of mentors. I've spent almost 100 days this year in other people's seminars outside of Tony Robbins. Because I've been so immersed in that one person's way of thinking, I wanted to reach out. And I still think Tony's the best. He's had the biggest impact on me. I've spent the better part of 10 years as an apprentice to Tony Robbins. A lot of people, there's young fitness guys, 25. Of course you're fit at 25. It's like they've really mastered nothing. They bulked up, they gained a little bit of weight, and they think that they're a fitness professional now. And some of them are pretty good, but a lot of people are just regurgitating other stuff. They don't really have the certainty because they've not really grown through the experience. But you can still get results with those people, but just make sure that there's a feeling there. There's a gravity, and a lot of people I see out there are saying the right things, but they don't have the internal core that's really going to allow them to excel long term. They're taking action, and you must take action too, but you're always wanting to condition that certainty. So today, before I talk to these folks up here, I'm about 3 hours away from LA. They're gonna, I'm gonna try to get them to come to a Tony Robbins event or do things, and I already know that there's objections, time, money, distance, all these different things. So I've thought about that. The example I give is if you are about to play a video game with a child, you get, your turn, it's 5 seconds, it's their turn, they take 20 minutes because they know where all the bad guys are. Are they smarter than you? Are they faster than you? Are they more dexterous than you? No, they played that game before. So every time that you go out into the world, you need to realize that, hey, you're playing a game. You need to know where all the bad guys are, and the better you get at playing the game, the more experience you have, the more anticipation you have, the more skill, and you won't react. You'll be proactive instead of reactive, and you'll have a response, stimulus response that is conditioned and trained, where you actually show up as the best version of yourself. So how this manifests in my talks today, I have a belief that people need to hear what I have to say. They want to hear what I have to say. I believe people are amazing, and I believe that they're going to do things for themselves. And so the thing that I talk about often in my own trainings is this concept of, I call it HILA, H-I-L-A. It's high intention, low attachment. High intention, low attachment. And so it's really separating people's identities from their behaviors. And so I make that very clear in my presentations, and oftentimes we have this highest versions of ourselves, but there's certain patterns, thought patterns, emotional patterns, things that we do sometimes that take us away from ourselves. So by the end of the time that I'm done talking to people, I interrupt those patterns so much, and I do my best if they let me, because I can't do anything for them. They have to allow me to cut those patterns of indecision and fear out of them like a cancer, because I know how that spreads into other areas in their life. So there has to be a belief in you, that you're funny. I'm not the funniest guy, but I have a belief that I'm humorous and I'm fun and I'm playful and I'm warm. I have a belief that, I care about people and they care about me. I have a belief that they want to hear what I have to say, even when they don't. But my certainty overcomes their doubt, and my belief that I'm funny is what makes me funny. My belief that magic is going to happen in that room makes magic happen in that room. When I don't know what to say, I believe that's when I really know what to say. When I don't know what to do, I believe that's when I really know what to do. So what that means is, when I'm uncertain, I take the action anyway. And if I show up, I believe in that space, in that magic moment, God's gonna show up, the universe is gonna show up. If I consistently show up, even if I'm a little uncertain and fearful, but I show up in a strong state, believing that the best is gonna happen in this moment, it usually does. And if not, I got an experience or I learned a lesson, and that's what I needed in that time. But you will not grow unless you're willing to be comfortable with being a little uncomfortable. So today, as you look back at your actions, the consistent patterns of behavior, and the results that you've created thus far this week, this month, this year, maybe in your life, when you look at your results, think, what are the actions that you've been taking or not taking that created those results? Behind the actions, what decisions do you make on a day-to-day basis? What decisions do you make about where you're going to spend your money, where you're going to spend your time, who you're going to surround yourself with? Those are conscious decisions, but what decisions are you making unconsciously? Where to focus your mind? What things mean? If you have a challenge come up, do you make this decision that things mean like God's punishing me, I'm stupid, I'm worthless, I'm in the wrong business? Or do you make this unconscious decision that when you get a no, it just means that you need to ask again? Or maybe you need to be a little more playful. And then we have other decisions that we make as well, but you need to look at the patterns of your decisions that have driven your actions. What drives your decisions are your thoughts. And what drives your thoughts about people, about life, about business, about who you are and what you deserve, what has created those thoughts that run through your head every day are your beliefs. What you believe about people, about life, about yourself. I wanted to make this kind of short, but I've gone on. Hope this has served you. See you in the next video.